Welcome to the Nut House. I got all three doggos in here today for whatever reason. I have no idea why, but it's pretty crazy and it's distracting. Let's get Wiley to take my jib. Take my jib, Wiley.
They took our jibs!
They took your jib! They took your jib! Took your jib!
Thanks for bringing them back this time. You gotta let go of them now. Let go. Let's go ahead and muster up, guys. Where you're from, what you munching on. Oh, gross. Jeb is all wet. I'm Kevin from Ohio. Let me get my Ohio soundbite up.
We're the Manchester United fan club from Ohio.
I got a few new additional sound bites. We'll see if you guys are from the places that I took them from. If not, you'll never know what they are. Ben, what's going on, man? First one in the chat. Sam, sick trailer, appreciate it. Wan Jockey, good to see you again. Good morning. It is still morning technically for another like 25 minutes. Keith May, what's going on? Keith is also in the locals chat. For locals members, I have locals chat open. Hailing from the great state of Texas. Must be that global warming. Home of SpaceX Starship, cowboy hat emoji. Having some green tea. Ooh, you healthy. A remote office viewing today. Nice. Good for you, man. Joe Biden took your jibs. Bob Brink. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Let's light this thing. Phil, what part of the world will get Starlink after this batch goes up? I'm still waiting in Eastern Ontario, Canada. Where's my Canada mode thing at? Here we go.
Welcome to French Canada!
Obviously, SpaceX just started their live stream. We'll get to that here in a second. Yeah, to answer your question, I don't know what's going to be available after this batch goes up, but SpaceX did just announce that service is available in Haiti now. I know that doesn't help you out, but in case there are any Haitians watching, don't worry, I don't have service yet either. And it's been a year since February, so I've been waiting over a year now for my... I'm about ready to cancel, to be honest. This isn't worth the wait. Kevin, you're so impatient. Same with my Cybertruck reservation. Thanks, Jeffy. Appreciate you. Glad you liked the intro. Sergeant Salty. Good morning, Cloud Lickers. Ooh, you follow my other channel too. Good for you, man. Marco, is this on Rumble? It will be on Rumble after our tube stream is over. Trust me, I look forward to the day that we can just do all Rumble live streams. Rumble is the place to be. Let's go big. Well, let's not go big screen yet. We got to finish our muster. I'm always getting ahead of myself. Bob, welcome to the eccentric fam, bro. Call me daddy. Thanks, man. Appreciate your support. Albuquerque, New Mexico. I need to get a Breaking Bad soundbite for you. Sorry, I don't have nothing for you New Mexicans. Billings, donuts. Nice. I had a donut the other day. The Lori wife and I did. It was delish. I like the Long Johns with the cream filling. Those are great. Mustang, Oklahoma. Western Australia. I do have Australia in the chat.
Austria! Well then, good day, mate.
UK is in the house as well. Awesome.
You sound like you're from London!
Oh, and I forgot to do Texas because Keith is from Texas.
I pulled him out of a place on Midgard called Texas.
Star Travelers from Missoula, Montana. My brother lived there for a while and he loved it so much he's always talking about it still, and it's been years. Bulgaria, awesome. I am the danger. Yep. I just watched Breaking Bad for like the 10th time, probably 11th or 12th time, like a month or so ago. Great show. All right, we're about T plus 3.5 minutes away from liftoff. Let's talk briefly about the mission, then we can get back to the muster a little bit later. Let's go big screen, Luma wipe, because I'm fancy like that. So 56 Starlink satellites going up on this one. It's a hefty load. It's obviously going to be version 1.5s then. From Slick 40, Florida. Okay. And the booster will be flying for its 10th time. Although she looks pretty new with all the frost on the outside of the shell there of the hull. But that will go away once we have liftoff. And she'll be landing for this 10th time on A Shortfall of Gravitas. So we should have pretty clear view of the landing on the drone ship, hopefully. Knock on wood. Don't want to spoil it, but the weather looks pretty awesome there in Florida. It's overcast in Ohio, but it could be worse. It could be hailing like it is in Texas, right, Keith? Dayton, Ohio. What's going on, Dayton? Good to see you. Yeah, Rumble has been heftily upgrading their user experience, especially with their live streams and their chat. So they added all sorts of stuff, like they can have moderators on there now. It's pretty cool. I really am looking forward to the day where we can do all live streams on Rumble, because I love supporting that platform. You got a whole bunch of new experiences over there, and it's booming too. It is booming, especially ever since like they have that power slap thing on there exclusively now, which is that Dana White thing. I don't watch it. I think it's hilarious. Every time I see the power slap on their homepage, all I can think of is that South Park episode where that abusive father, who's very flamboyant, is always like, I slap you. So I can't take it seriously. But some of those dudes can slap pretty hard. Hey, Kevin, I will be joining your locals channel soon, probably in 2 months. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Times are tough, so I understand it, man. I'm just here for the ride, but I appreciate all the support I can get, especially in today's cancel culture world. She is smoking. So the rocket vents like that so they can relieve some of that pressure as the gas boils up inside those tanks so they don't rupture. But you can also see some smokage right here as it condenses when the or evaporates when the frost on the shell or on the hull mixes and interacts with the warmer Florida air. There's a shortfall of gravitas right there. Looks awesome. Makes me want to play Sea of Thieves. Get my pirate action on, brah. All right, T-minus 45 seconds. Let's turn the volume up.
LD, go for launch.
Make sure we're live.
As you just heard, the launch director has given the final go to proceed for launch. Let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 takes our 56 Starlink satellites into space.
Josh and Bama. Okay, roll tight. I got something for you this time, bro. Here we go. You ready for this? As promised.
You should go home to Greenbow, Alabama.
Yeah, that was for you, bro. Good to see you in the locals chat. J. Penn Berthy, drinking Dr. Pepper in the great state of Utah.
15 seconds.
Love me some DP, man.
Smash 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engines full power and liftoff of Starlink. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
At T plus 30 seconds, F9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 from the Cape at 11:43 a.m. Eastern Time.
MOD tier pressures are nominal.
Nominal power and telemetry.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
You just heard the call out that Falcon 9 is supersonic, which means the vehicle is traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Max Q.
And there you just heard the call out for max Q, which is the point at which the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of external stress as it ascends through the Earth's atmosphere.
It looks like the rocket is tilting sideways. That's because it is. It has to go horizontal and burn horizontal to burn around the Earth and make orbit.
We're now about 1 minute away from a series of events: MECO, stage sep, SES-1, and fairing separation. MECO, or main engine cutoff, is when all 9 of the Merlin engines on the first stage shut down. Stage separation is when the first and second stages separate from one another. SES-1, or second engine start 1, is where we light the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. And fairing separation is when the 2 fairing halves separate and fall away from the second stage. Keep an eye out for these events happening in quick succession.
Artificial cumulonimbus clouds, brah. Can't lick them if they're trailing behind you.
MECO.
It's coming your way. Are you stranded on an island? Euro Wars.
MVAC ignition.
And you just saw that we confirmed MECO, stage separation, and SES-1 will be coming up shortly on fairing separation.
Yeah, tracking cam footage. Like it.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And there we just heard and saw those 2 fairing halves separating and falling away from the second stage. Both of the fairing halves that flew on today's mission are flight proven, with one half flying for the 6th time and the other its 7th. We'll be attempting to recover both fairing halves using our recovery vessel, Doug.
Focus, cam, focus. That poofing you see of light is not light at all. It's actually cold gas. You'll see it here on your screen between those fins. There it is. That helps.
Just as a
push the
reminder,
rocket
on the
in the direction it
left-hand
needs to
side
go.
of your screen is the Falcon 9
Both
first
vehicles on
stage.
a nominal trajectory.
And on the right is the MVAC ignition that you can see glowing bright orange as it's carrying our Starlink satellites to their desired orbit.
I guess tilt the rocket in the angle it needs to be is more
We also just
accurate.
heard a call out that stage 1 and stage 2 are both following nominal trajectories. Currently, the first stage is on its way back to Earth towards our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas. The MVAC engine attached to the second stage is continuing its burn, which will last for another 5 minutes or so.
For those of you who are watching a SpaceX live stream for the first time, those titanium grid fins on the left-hand side, I call those fly swatters. They're about the size of a compact vehicle, so they're larger than they look. This camera that you're seeing on the left-hand side there is of a camera looking down the body of the rocket from the top of the inner stage there, which is where that Merlin vacuum engine on the right-hand side of your screen was previously resting during the ascent inside that empty inner stage.
For those of you who are just joining us, we had an on-time liftoff at 11:43 a.m. Eastern Time from Slick 40. Today's Starlink mission marks SpaceX's 219th mission overall and 20th mission just this year.
Is that the keys down there below the grid fins? Like that turquoise water. Awesome. Might be Florida itself. I don't know. I guess the Florida Keys is technically
A beautiful
Florida still.
view of planet Earth on the left-hand side of your
Mainland
screen
Florida.
and on the right-hand side behind stage 2. If you look on the bottom corners of your screen, you can see the speed and altitude of both the first and second stages.
Earth is looking very marbly today. It's blues and greens. And it's whites.
As a reminder, Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations around the globe. Today, we're sending another 56 satellites to space on today's mission.
Megtooth is cooking a brisket while watching this space stuff from North Carolina. That's impressive. I couldn't cook a brisket even if it was the only thing I was focusing on. Too much work for me. And RCS system's really going at it. She's really arching her down range there.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
What is the PSI in those control thrusters? That's a great question. That's one I actually looked
stage
up
1 entry burn.
a couple
Stage
years
1,
ago.
which we also call the booster, has relit 3 of its
Stage
engines.
1 FTS is saved.
Engines 1, 5, and 9 to slow it down for atmospheric re-entry.
And I want to say, my memory sucks, but I want to say it was like
Stage 1 entry
4,600
burn shutdown.
PSI. That might not be right at all.
You
I
just heard
can't
the call
remember.
out.
2 FTS is saved.
that the entry burn on the first stage has completed. The first stage used to launch our 56 Starlink satellites into space today is flying for its 10th time, having supported 2 CRS missions, 2 crew missions, Turksat
Both
5B,
vehicles on a nominal trajectory.
Eutelsat HOTBIRD 13G, mPOWER-a, and 2 Starlink missions. We have one more burn coming up on the first stage, which is the landing burn, and should be coming up in about 1 minute. The center engine, E9 specifically, is the engine that relights for landing burn to slow it down before it touches on the drone ship.
Hellfire saying it's about half that at 2200 psi. Regardless, I remember when I looked it up the first time, I looked into it and I did a little bit of studying, and I learned that it was enough that if you were to put your head inside one of these RCS thruster blocks, it would actually decapitate you. Now, that's just from the research I did myself. I didn't read an article that actually said that, but I just did the calculations, so take that for what it is.
Which means it's traveling near the speed of sound. Coming up next, we have landing burn, which should start in about 15 seconds from now.
I looked up what the PSI was, and I looked up at how much pressure it would take to decapitate somebody, and it was much more than what was needed. If those were the right numbers I was looking at. Hey, looks like we're going to get some cloud licking. Nice. The lawyer wife is downstairs doing lawyer stuff, so she's not joining us for this one. We have 3 doggos. That's plenty.
Stage 1 landing burn.
And there's confirmation that the Stage 1 landing burn has started in preparation for touchdown on our drone ship, A Shortfall of Gravitas.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Easy day.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Please clap.
Falcon 9 has successfully landed, marking the 10th successful landing for this booster. And we're now awaiting second engine cutoff coming up in a few seconds.
Eric, what's going on, Eric? Master Chief Eric, those are the worst ways to die, I know, right? I hate it when I stick my head in a thruster block.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And if you heard those callouts, we had successful SECO and nominal orbital insertion. So with confirmation of successful first stage landing and second engine cutoff, that's going to wrap up our coverage for today. Today's landing marks our 181st overall landing of an orbital class rocket, including Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy missions, and our 219th overall mission to date. Be sure to check out our social media pages for confirmation of Starlink satellite deployment. And thank you all for watching, and we hope you have a great weekend.
You too, SpaceX lady. I didn't catch your name. Yeah, that was the 20th mission for the year, I think, if I counted correctly. So I'm going to call this one there as well, you guys. I have SpaceX in the news on the cutting room floor right now in the editing software. I just need to re-record some of this, chop it up, splice it in, and I'll have that episode out in the next hour or so. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until an hour or so from now, Godspeed.